You know, a lot of times when you see people making comments on videos that you may say, oh, this person's trolling. Sometimes the people trolling are actually police officers, okay? Because they don't want to come out and say it with their actual accounts. Case in point with this story. So you have a Colorado Springs police officer will still be allowed to keep his job, though, after he posted threatening comments under a live stream showing a Black Lives Matter protest. So this guy by the name of Sergeant Keith Wrede has been suspended and reassigned after internal affairs investigation determined that he was responsible for some comments. OK, so they said the investigation determined Wrede created a Facebook profile under the name Stephen Eric to disguise his identity. Now, how many of them have tried to disguise their identity coming here on our videos? But for me, if I see the comments, I block them. I don't argue with them. I have a zero tolerance policy for just people talking crap, people making threats. I have a zero tolerance policy for that. He used the profile to write, and I quote, "Kill them all and kill them all" on the Facebook live stream hosted by KRDO on June the 30th, which is a local media affiliate. He said the stream showed protesters blocking traffic on Interstate 25 after marching from downtown Colorado Springs. It said KRDO showed the comments to the police department, which prompted an investigation. The Facebook page was deleted. They said it's been found the Facebook profile used to make the comments did in fact belong to a Colorado Springs Police Department Sergeant Keith Wrede. He said, "We offer our organizational humility and heartfelt apology to our entire community." Niski claims, he said, Wrede made the comments out of frustration while he was off duty and noted there was no indication of any physical action or intent to cause harm. How do you know that? He has the badge. He can lie and say there's resisting arrest. He can do anything he wants with that badge because they still have qualified immunity that Jim Crow Joe Biden will not go against. He still want the cops to have qualified immunity, which if you remove qualified immunity from the cops, then they can't just be killing like that. They have to really have a legitimate reason, not this, I was afraid for my life. Now, they continue to say that they're no way minimizing Sergeant Wrede's words, say his comments were unacceptable, have damaged our relationship with members of the community and fell short of our standards. He had to say, well, Wrede will still remain on the force, but he was suspended for 40 hours. Ooh, that's a lot. It's resulting in about $2,000 in lost wages, whatever. It said he will be removed from his specialized unit and placed in another position within the police department. Now, they said that they acknowledged there were calls for Wrede's termination, but he refused to fire him because of his history on the force. So he creates a troll account to go say basically kill black people, but he could stay on the force because of his history. See, this is who you have as police officers. People that say that they want to kill black people and then their police chiefs still allow them to stay there. But let that been a black officer saying that about white folks. He wouldn't have defended him. He would have got rid of his behind. See, this is who we have on the streets. And you wonder why black folks are getting killed like this. You literally have a white supremacist literally on a police department. And they okay with this. Now, he says that throughout his 20-year career, he says Sergeant Wrede has professionally served this community. That's a lie. That's a lie. No, he did not. Because if he feel this way about black protesters, then obviously he's been engaging black people in ways that was not, quote unquote, professional. He says, while his comments were harmful and reprehensible, he said, I cannot deprive the community of a good police officer and his services because of an isolated incident of an error of judgment. Meaning, I'm okay with his white supremacy. He didn't do anything wrong. I mean, wink, wink. He okay. I mean, look at the BS. I can't deprive the community of a good police officer. Good police officers don't hide and say kill them all. They don't say that. So those of you in Colorado Springs, you have a police sergeant there that says, they should kill y'all. And don't be surprised if he haven't done it already. Okay. So y'all should be at City Hall right now Okay, and let me give you the police chief's name, so we can have that and give that to you. His name is Chief Vince Niski. Okay, his last name is Niski. The police chief works for the mayor. Y'all can go to City Hall and demand the police chief be fired, because if he gonna sit up there and say that's okay to keep that guy after this, y'all need to demand the police chief Vince Niski be fired. Y'all need all the Black Lives Matter protesters. Y'all need to be at City Hall demanding this guy be fired, and don't let up off of him until he's fired. Get on the mayor, make him fire this guy, because that guy needs to go. This is the reason why we have all these shootings, and the reason why we having George Floyd's and Breonna Taylor's. This is why, because when they're caught doing something, people like Chief Vince Niski keeps them around. And then the next George Floyd happens, or the next Breonna Taylor happens, or the next Corin Gaines happens, or the next Sandra Bland happens, or the next Sam DuBose happens. You get what I'm saying? The next Michael Slager cop killing Walter Scott happens. This is why this constantly happens, because when they're caught, they're not fired. Well, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this particular story. Just warning the family in Colorado Springs. You know, you got a cop out there that's, you know, allowed to be on a department that wants to kill black people.